Welcome everyone, this is our van and this is the room tour of our rebuilt van. I think this is maybe the most anticipated video from you guys because I got so many questions about this interior, and here it finally comes. Join me and get to know everything we did to customize our perfect travel vehicle. This is an Iveco 4x4 Daily. Why we chose this car, I made a whole video about that. So if you're interested, click here. And we will start with the outside of the car. We actually in the beginning thought that we would do a lot of changes on this vehicle on the outside, but it actually wasn't that much because the Iveco 4x4 Daily comes already with quite a strong base and with a lot of things that you might want anyways. So we didn't change that much on the outside, also because we first wanted it to import it from Germany to Switzerland, then see what we really need. These hooks here were already there. This already is all there. One of the things that we added were these lights here in the front. They are lights from Laser. We really like them. They are more modern. They're not these bulby round lights. That's why we decided for them. And initially we wanted to have these round lights here on top, but we couldn't have them after all because we decided to have a rooftop tent that I will show you later. But due to this rooftop tent, there is no space for like a rack on the top. So there is also no real space to attach lights there. So that's why we decided to have these two additional lights here in the front if we come to areas and drive at night where it's really important to have a bit more strong light due to the wildlife. And also it looks cool. What we also have is these things for driving in the sand if you get stuck. I don't even know the word, I might Google it. In German it's called Sandbleche. Anyways, we added these ones because I think it's really important to have, and I will show you a nice little special feature that they have. You can fold those down here like this, and you have an additional little table here on this side of the van. I think it's pretty neat if you stay somewhere longer and if you want to have something to put things on, especially because next to it, and I will show you that now, is the outlet for the shower. Here we do have one of our shower outlets because we're having two. It was very important to us, and one is here. And it's a pretty amazing system with the shower head. I'm gonna show you how it works. You have this, attach it somewhere here where it's magnetic, like this. Oh, it's so heavy. Or even here, so it's high enough for you to shower. Unwrap this, put it in here, and then you can have a nice shower up here like this. Isn't this perfect? Water is not on at the moment, but I'm pretty happy about it because otherwise I would be soaking wet. I'm also going to show you the second of our shower outlets. It's here in the back of the vehicle. It was very important for us to have this also. The one on the side is standard. This one was an additional thing that we especially requested. It's down here, and it was important to us because we feel like you're often like a little bit exposed somewhere, and if you have it here, you can park the car somewhere so the back is maybe against the wall or something. You can still open this, and these two doors will give you kind of like a shelter so people cannot really watch you. We don't bring any car shower curtain or anything else. For us, this is enough. And before even asking, we decided not to have a shower inside the van because our van is rather short. It's 6.50 meters because the next step of building this van is getting a motorcycle rack on its back, and we decided to go for the shorter version. So that's why we have very limited space inside, and we really had to use the space smartly. So this is why we don't have a shower inside, and these are our two options. And for us, this feels perfectly fine because on a motorcycle, you don't have a shower at all, and we survived. And if it's very hot, it's so nice to shower outside anyways. I would not even want to shower inside. And if it's cold, I'm too frosty to shower, so I don't want to shower that much anyways. So I would be fine to not shower a few days while traveling in the van. This little thing here might not seem that important, but it is. This is the outlet of our standing heating. I don't know the English terms for that, but the heating if you're standing still, and also for the warm water. So you can put inside how much warm water you want. It heats up the water. Also, we have a regulation inside that sets kind of the temperature. So if we say we are somewhere very cold and we put it on 21 degrees, it will heat up until it's 21 degrees, and it heats with the diesel of our van. So it's a diesel heating, I don't know how you call it, but it's an extra unit. So it's not the normal heating of the car, but it's the unit that heats it when standing still, if it's really cold in the winter and you want it to be warm. It actually works very well, the heating, but we have not used the inside heating that much because we have not been traveling in the van with really cold weather. So I cannot tell you that much about it. Also not how much gas it consumes, but well, for the hot water, it works amazing. Outside here is our water tank. You open this, you put in a hose, and then you fill it up. I think we have around 120 liters. Not quite sure about that, but it's definitely enough to do some dishes, to have a shower, and not needing to change that every day. We usually actually, I think, travel like basically a week or so without having to get new water in. These cars or these vans, they don't come with windows, so all of these windows had also to be cut in. And this is the side window for little A where he sits. We have another additional little side window that is here. That's over the kitchen. It's also very nice because you can open it and so the steam, if it's very steamy, comes kind of out. Well, we really liked it. And we have also the windows on this side in the back, so a little bit light comes in from there too. And I also want to show you the other side. We have this window here and the door, and on top, I don't know if you can see it, we have solar panels, and that's pretty amazing because even when standing still, our car can generate some electricity. Otherwise, the two batteries that we have in the car are charged while driving. And we decided to have two battery units, which is also not that usual. Normally you have one. And many people also opt for one, but we decided that we want to have two battery units because, of course, having more electricity, but also because we decided that we want to have an induction stove, and cooking with a stove takes a lot of energy. We just didn't want to have to deal with propane or gas or something inside the van. Also due to our child, and I know they're very secure solutions these days, but it just didn't resonate with us. We felt more safe and better about having a little induction stove that is actually using energy and electricity to work. And yeah, that's why we also have these solar panels that are actually attached to the top of our rooftop tent. And as I said before, we couldn't have like a, you see that often with other vehicles and with other vans, that there's like kind of like a rack on top of the van, so you can also store some things on top. And we would have loved to have that, but we had to take a decision. Either we have this rack or we have a rooftop tent, and we had to take the rooftop tent because that's two additional sleeping places. And we're super happy with the decision, but that's why it looks kind of empty up there. There's no rack, no lights, no nothing up there yet.
We also got an additional locking and security system for the car, also with the hope that seeing these security measurements will make criminals think twice if it's worth to break into the car.
And we also have these locks here They are on the inside of the doors, so you can lock them from inside. So you have like a double lock here on the doors, and then you walk outside and lock the doors with the outside locks. So all doors have like this double locking system.
An additional modification on the outside, and the only big part we added so far, is the skid plate of a company called Dark to better protect the bottom of our car when not driving on tarmac.
Before we move to the inside, and I guess the things that most of you really want to see, I first wanted to show you the back of the van, because it's very important too for all of our storage. And here we are. We also carry our camping table here. That is here. I will take this away for now and then build it up in front. And here in the back is our main storage unit. We have two of those. The usual concept with the cars only came with one. We wanted to have two. They are made for very heavy duty, so I think it's load them with like 220 kilos or something like this. So really, really heavy, they're very sturdy. Furthermore, we have these two places here. One of them is not as big, so behind it is the battery and heating unit and so on. So we don't have as much space here, and here's pretty much like utility stuff that we're using, like our shower, our hose that we're having, for filling up our water, cables here for charging electricity if it's not charged enough during driving, which actually has not happened to us yet. We always had enough electricity. Yes, we have some spare things here, and a wheel lifter and all things necessary on this side. Then we have a very huge place here on that side, and in the bottom here is our water tank, so that's gone, but up here fits a lot of luggage, and it's an amazing space. I love it. And what we mainly have here, usually it's quite full because we also carry like our motorcycle gear or jackets and things there. But what I will take out now is all of our camping gear that fits in here perfectly. And it's the most comfy chairs, and they are by Dometic. All of our camping gear and our stove is by Dometic, who supported us with their stuff. They're not paying me any money. It's very loud at the moment because someone next to us is cutting the grass. I hope you understand me, because this here is our little thing to open up the, I don't know the English word for it, something for our lovely shade if we want to sit in front of the van. Watch it. So you might wonder if it's worth to take that big camping chairs and tables, and we were discussing this a lot because I know that there are so many like real small camping chairs that people even take on motorcycles, and also much smaller tables, but we do think that it's worth the comfort, because if you're traveling in a van like this and it's sunny and nice, outside is the area where you spend most of the time, and we said we really would like to have chairs that are comfortable also to sit outside, and we are very, very happy with them. So far we really think it's worth it. And we also said, you know, if we go on a trip where we maybe don't have the space to carry these big chairs, we can just take them out and we can then use the storage space for something else. So I guess from trip to trip it will be different, but on all of our trips so far we didn't need the storage for anything else, so we just had this, and it's also so nice to have like this wood feeling things and these real wooden handlebars, and yeah, it just gives you a very homey feeling, and that was important to us. And another question that was actually asked by us a lot is, do we even need this shade thing? I still don't know the word for it. Jalousine, marquise, I don't know how you call them. Do we even need that? In the end, we decided to get it, and we're still happy about it, because even if you're in the lunchtime sun, which I am actually right now, the sun comes from above, so it's not as much shade here. My face is still in the shade though, and more importantly for us, here in the back of the van, if we open the door and just sit here in the door and put this out, we basically have always shade. So I think this was then a yes for us to know kind of like, okay, if we put that up, even our inside gets a little bit of more shade.
So far, we have taken our camper van to Scandinavia, Finland, the Baltic states, the Alps and Tunisia. So meanwhile, we have tested it quite well. And the only big thing that is still missing is a rack to carry a motorcycle on the back, which will be custom made by a workshop here in Switzerland this fall, because there simply are no racks that suit our needs.
The company that we did the van conversion with is called Veo Vans. And I didn't know that also, but all these van companies, they are pretty busy. So when we approached them, they all said like, yeah, we can start your conversion in a year or so. And we were like, what? That takes so long to only start it, and then it takes a few months until it's done. So we were completely shocked that it would take so long. And Veo Vans, due to some cars that have not been delivered in time, had a slot that all of a sudden opened, so they could do our build first. We're super happy with the result, and yeah, I will take you inside now and show you the heart of our camper van conversion.
This is the view on our front seats, with storage over the driving seats. Veo Vans put new fabric and isolation on all walls, so it's not as loud when driving. And our front seats are turning seats, and we have a table that we can attach between the rear seats and front seats. Welcome to our cozy living area. If we don't need the table, we have a space here in the back to store it.
This is basically why we got a camper van, because the decision to have like a back, two back seats, and in a concept like this where it's just open, it was pretty easy to add these two back seats. And as you see, here's the child seat of little A, and this seat here is like a guest seat, so if someone wants to join us on our trip, they can feel welcome. We're super happy with them. The company that they're from, it's called Schnierle. It's a German company, and they're making these seats with these things here in the bottom. So for us, that means we can move those seats. They can go forward until here. I don't know if you see that. So they are quite movable, and also we can take a whole seat out. So if we would decide we would prefer the space to have while traveling without a seat, we could just here deattach it and take the seat out. It's two separate seats, so we can really take one out. We could take two out if nobody would travel with us. So I think this is super, super cool system. This is the real inside of our car, and I think it's amazing. Behind me you can see the bed. The bed is 120 wide. So actually in the beginning they suggested us to take a smaller bed so we gain even more space here in the interior, but we decided that we still want to have a wider bed, because if it's raining and not so nice outside, we can basically all kind of like hang somehow on this bed. We also therefore decided to keep this wall free so we can lean against it and, you know, just have a little bit of like room here to also hang during the day, and not like just having this like table and chair situation, but also back here this sleeping situation. In the beginning of our customization of the van was the question, which colors do we want? How do we want to have the feel? How do we want to have the van overall? And as you see, we decided for the ceiling, these are acoustic panels, so they take a lot of noise away also from the car, from the driving, but also when you're inside. I think they look very, very nice. I think they're beautiful. And we decided for a more dark interior also because we think it's not so, you know, it's kind of like this dark gray or Anthrazit, you say in German, and it doesn't get dirty so easily, and we thought with a small child that might be a very good decision. And in addition to these acoustic panels and this interior, we also chose a floor that has like a wood-like look. It is not wood, so it's easier to clean. But in addition to the floor that looks more wood-like, we really have like proper wood stove tops here in the kitchen. This is all wood. And these whole cabinets here above the kitchen and also here below the kitchen, They are all wood, and we think it's really nice, but we chose two different kind of woods. We chose this wood here that is also here in the bed, this more light wood, I think it's oak actually, that is here with the bed and on the kitchen top, and for here we chose this dark wood parts, and well, we think that's actually fits very nicely together, obviously, since this was our choice. On the upper side of the van, we have two different kind of storage units. Number one, it's this wooden storage shelves that we have here in the kitchen. And number two is these more flexible one. It's a, I think, Polish brand that's called Van der Moon. And they make these amazing, very flexible storage units. And they are attached on like airplane, I don't know, airplane units. So you can just take them off and on like you want. And we thought that's amazing to have those. And also it's pretty good because nothing rattles here. We love them so far. And we really think that was a very good decision for us. And we also have that on this side. So we could add many more of these bags on this side if we wanted to and if we felt like we would need the storage. And that was basically one of the reasons we decided for them, because we said we even inside we would like to keep quite flexible with how much luggage and how many things we're taking. This is really hard to get in a video, but I thought I'd try anyways to show you how much storage we really have here on this side. We have this one. This is one of these big Van der Moon bags. We have these two here in the kitchen, and we have one of these big bags here, and that's basically it. And we have the storage on top of the driver and co-driver seat, plus we have the storage in the back. So that is our storage here in the van. And we could attach the storage units, I think 2 more bags actually we could attach here on this side, so we would have 2 more of these big bags in addition for storage. One thing that was very important to us, and I don't know if you can see that now because it's quite bright outside, but it was very important to us to have a nice lighting, nice atmosphere inside the car. So Veo Vans actually attached several light sources here throughout the van, and one of them I think is used, it's made very smartly, is this one here in the ceiling, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. You can also dim it. I don't know if you could see that now, but so you can really adjust it to the light level that you want. And we furthermore have so many more lights in here. We have here a light below the kitchen that's on at the moment. You can see that here. And we have a light here in the front. We have 2 more lights here in the back. I don't know if you see that. Yeah, here you can see them. They're more like little reading lamps that we have here on our beds. And let me think, I think we have 1 or 2 more lights hidden here. We also have some lights here inside these cabinets that you can switch on and off. So it's really, there's a lot of like really nice lights, and I'm super happy with the outcome of this.
Veo Vans has different concepts you can choose from, but for us they made a completely new layout because we had some ideas that were a bit different than the most common van builds.
The reason why most of the other car conversions that we saw didn't really appeal to us is that we always wanted to have like an open door. Many concepts for camper vans have the concept that you have the kitchen built on this side where I'm standing, and it kind of like goes into the door. So you have the kitchen kind of like here, and where you exit the car here on the side with the door is much smaller therefore. And yes, there are many things that are good about this. It saves you a lot of space. You have this side with a kitchen. You have also the other side where you can store things. For example, if you can make a kitchen here, we in theory could have had a small bathroom or toilet on the other side. But we said, for us, it's much more important to really be able to spend time in the van and to not feel like it's too small. Even though it is small, it's only 6.50 meters long, so that's really one of the smaller vans in length. Therefore, our kitchen is here on the other side, right behind the two back seats. And we wanted to have it like a L shape, so not just like a normal shape, because we thought it's going to be nice because we can have the fridge here in the front, right behind the seat, and we're not losing too much space, because if we would have had only a normal shape without the L, we would have not had space so much for storage down here. And had to have the fridge down here, because here's the sink and down here goes the water, so that would have been already like that. So we said, okay, let's do it like this, so we have space for a fridge, and we also still have some more space for kitchen storage. And the fridge I absolutely love, and this is actually how we came to cooperate with Dometic, because I asked several people who have worked with van and know the ins and outs of building vans, and ask them what is the best fridges and what is the best stovetops for vans. And it was pretty much everyone said it's the brand Dometic. So we said, okay, we want Dometic too. And I approached Dometic saying, hey, it would be great if you want to cooperate with us. We're doing this van build, and I have this YouTube channel with a lot of nice viewers. We just would like to have these things, because otherwise, if you're not saying yes, we're going to buy them. Because I would not have built in anything different than this fridge and this stovetop. The amazing thing about this fridge is that it can be opened from both sides, and I absolutely love that. There is not so much in this fridge at the moment. Only alcohol basically, because we're not really traveling at the moment. But you see, it's opening from this side and it's opening from this side, and I think that's so great. Also another charger. That was one thing that was very important also to me. I told Veo Vans we want to have a lot of charging options, and they built it in. We have basically chargers and electricity everywhere in this van. Here is our super nice kitchen. That's our sink. This one is really nice. You can take it off. Also, all the off-road we did so far, it really worked amazingly. So we love that sink. We love that. In addition, as I told you, we wanted to have a lot of electricity. And I also said I want to have some normal chargers, because I have quite some computer gear and other gears that only operate on normal charging plugs. And that's here. Here we have our row of normal chargers in the kitchen. Here's our beautiful stove top. It's also from Dometic. I love it. It's super fast. It takes a lot of electricity though. So if we decide that we want to cook all 3 meals and do nothing else and have a lot of lights on and charge a lot of things and work on the computer a lot, we have to monitor our electricity use a little bit, even though it's not as big a problem for us because we have these 2 batteries, and so that's pretty amazing to see how little we actually need. And we have not been yet in a situation where we would have needed additional energy or said, oh, let's go driving again because we need to load up our batteries. Maybe also because we have these solar panels that give us back a lot of energy. Inside of here is our control panel, and you see there's not so much that is on. Here we have the water. It's pretty empty at the moment, and here we have the wastewater, which is pretty full at the moment, so we should do something about that. And here you switch the water on, here you dump the wastewater, and here you turn on the electricity in the different modes that you can have. We have here the normal mode with 12 volts, where it still operates on like the fridge and all the necessary things. The lights go on. Then we have the 230 volts, which we turn on if we want to cook something on the stove, or if we want, there's some quick charger systems here. I will show you in a second. So whenever we want to have more electricity, we put this 230 volts on, and then we have also a button here that can jump start our car battery with these batteries inside here, which I think is fantastic. And down here we have a screen for the Truma, basically that's like the heating inside the car, and also for our water system we can put the room temperature here, we can put the water and how much warm water we want to have, and which temperature we want to have the warm water at. So I think this whole system is pretty amazing. And also what I think is amazing is that it's very small. Many of these cars these days have these big iPad control panels, and we said we don't want that. We just want to have a small control panel like this that is hidden somewhere and that only shows the most necessary things, nothing else. And that's how clean as it can get, I would say. And here you have the storage of our kitchen. You can see here, whoops, this comes out. It's very nice for all spices, and we also have cups there and everything, and very convenient to have this one. And then we have one here, which is basically in our case cutlery that we have in here. We have also some cutting boards and things like this. That goes in here again. Then we have this, where we store our pots and also our supplies, like pasta and rice. And then we have a big one down here, which is actually one of our favorite ones, because there's all the things we don't need all the time, but often, like a little brush, a coffee maker, and also our vacuum cleaner. Very, very important if you have a child and a van. Here in front of the bed we have another little storage unit, and we also bought this little mat here. That was actually on our first trip because we realized we have no place to put our shoes if they're dirty, and this is the place now. And here we have this little storage unit, and here's our little trash, and we also have some toilet paper here. This would have actually been the place where we could have had a toilet, and also you see we use this as a step to climb in here, and especially the little one still needs this since he can't climb in otherwise. And yes, well, this would have been the place where usually there's a toilet, but we decided against having a toilet. And this was one of the most discussed questions with van people, because all people living in camper vans told us, you're gonna regret this decision. A toilet is a must-have, outdoor shower is okay, but please have a toilet in your van. And then we started to do some research about toilets, and all the concepts that there are about toilets for vans, they just didn't appeal to us. And we said in the end, who of us would clean it? And none of us volunteered. So we said, if nobody wants to clean it, we can't have a toilet like that. And also we felt like we don't really have the space for it, since we decided for so many other things that have priority for us. And I can tell you guys, even though all people told us that we're gonna regret this decision, we so far didn't. We would not have used it once. We carry a potty for our son. Also, we have this here, which is a very nice little portable bucket. We have plastic bags, so if we really, really need to do something and can't get out, we will just put a plastic bag in here. In this little storage is also our quick charging unit. Let me show you. You can see it. Here is our quick charging unit. So if we need something to charge super, super fast, that's it. This here is below the bed from the inside, and we have some more storage space here, as you see, that is in front. We're planning to still build like a net or a little wall or something in here, so we can put things there and they don't come forwards. And here on this side, this is basically blocked for the battery and all the necessary things, and you can reach them over this, and everything has enough ventilation so it doesn't get too hot or anything like that. And this is the most amazing and comfortable bed. Oh, I love it so much. And it's so cozy. And we can all kind of hang here, but I quickly wanted to show you another thing. And that's our windows, because they're pretty amazing. We built in here these windows, and they have this very nice jalousine. Number one, they have this here, which is a flight net, and all of our windows here in the car have that, besides of the two front ones next to the driver's seat. So we have this one, which is for flies, and then we have this one, which just makes them dark, which especially last year when we went to Finland, where the sun pretty much doesn't go down during the summer month, was super important for us because it was so bright, and we just closed all the windows like this, and that was just perfect. It's really amazing. And here we got these lamps now. We in the beginning had different lamps, I have to admit, which we didn't like that much because they had like these swinging arms, and they were swinging way too much when we were driving off-road. So we just got these new lamps, which are much smaller and also much more sturdy. So we're super happy about these new little lamps and not these long swinging lamps anymore that we had here before. The last thing I'm going to show you was one of the most expensive things we built in this van, and also might give you a little headache because of this angle, because I have to film it a little bit upwards. It's our rooftop tent, and it's amazing. So what Veo Vans did, they cut this hole here in the top of the van, and we have this little leather here that we put out. We lift the tent and we can climb up. Come with me. So this rooftop tent here is one of my absolute favorite places. Usually I'm the one who sleeps up here, my partner sleeps down there, and little A still sleeps in his crib. When he gets older, he's gonna sleep downstairs and we both gonna sleep upstairs, because here is definitely room for two people. The brand is called Flexible. It's also a German brand who makes these tents, especially for Mercedes Sprinters, but it's also one of the only brands that has these tents kind of legally and street ready available for an Iveco Daily 4x4. Here we have some fly net, so you can get some fresh air in here without flies getting in. So you can actually open this whole side here of the tent. This one is just plastic, so you can open it when it rains. This one I think is also plastic. And here you have this fly net, so you have also some nice ventilation in here from the air. It's really nice. And not to forget, here these beautiful light stripes even make a beautiful atmosphere up here in the tent. It's absolutely amazing.
Lost in the sight of you alone. Here I'll stay till dawn. The breeze in the sky sings me a song. Here I'll stay till dawn.
So guys, this was it. This is our personal dream camper van that became reality now. We love it so much. We couldn't imagine anything better. And I hope you like it too. If you have any questions, if I forgot any details that you're interested in, just ask them down here. I will try to answer them. Have a nice trip.
This was the room tour of our beloved camper van. And even though I was really skeptical of van life in the beginning, I have to admit I simply love traveling in this vehicle with our son. I hope you guys love it as much as we do, and that you tune in next month when it's time to got to go again. And in the next video, I will exchange the lovely van for traveling on two wheels again. So stay tuned.